2. Yeah. Amazing. Hi, everybody. Hi, Marnie and Sam. Thanks for joining. I'm so excited to talk to you guys. So, quick intro. So, hi, everybody. I'm Corey from Dogly. This is Marnie Prince, founder of Side by Side. And I'm so excited. Today we have Sam joining us, the mom of Penny and Lucy, and foster mom to like 70, 80 foster dogs.
Somewhere in that range.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks guys for joining. I'm so excited to chat.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. So and Donna's here. Hi, Donna. I don't know if you guys can see the comments, but so I would love to jump in because I know we kind of talked a little bit about it before, but Marnie and Side by Side have created this amazing pet assessment nutrition way to figure out what's good for your dog and what's not so good for your dog, depending on who they are. And I would love, first, Marnie, maybe if you give a little explanation on the assessment, and then Sam, if you wanna, are the girls here?
I'm trying to get Eric to bring them down.
Okay. Sam, then if you wanna like give us a little intro to Penny and Lucy and kind of like who they are, and then maybe we can give a brief go through of what the assessment would be and how it all works, and take questions at the end. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Awesome. And I see Karen and Kelsey are here, so hi guys. All right, awesome. So Marnie, what is this assessment?
So this pet assessment is basically the easiest way for us to do a full nose to toes exam without a vet on hand to do it. So it's kind of how you as an owner can understand your pet. And it not only goes through the Western side of looking at your pet, but it also understands and incorporates some of the ways that we understand our dog through traditional Chinese food therapy and the traditional Chinese way of looking and assessing your dog. Like, we're going to talk a lot about your dog's tongues and what their poops look like, and if they sit in the sun or the shade. So we're gonna kind of assess where they're at and what they like and what their needs are, and we'll understand them a little bit better, and then be able to carry that over to meeting their needs nutritionally.
That's perfect.
Amazing. So Sam, tell us about Penny and Lucy.
Well, for those who don't know, Penny we call a pig because she has the most amazing temper tantrums where she grunts at us. She is, and that's why when I was filling out the assessment and it was asking about her personality, I said she's definitely bossy. When she wants something, she throws an absolute temper tantrum, stomps her feet at me, and then points to what she wants. She's also absolutely like the most affectionate dog you've ever met. Like, all she wants is love and attention. She will force herself on you for it. She once licked somebody's contact out of their eyeball. So she's nuts. But it also means that she has pretty terrible separation anxiety. She hates to be alone. And I think the two things go together. Like, she needs so much attention and then she's afraid to be alone. And we were talking a little bit earlier, but we really get to chat about how that separation anxiety manifests for Penny. For her, that was when we first got her, she would scream in the crate. She would try to break out of her crate. She would bloody her nose up and her paws trying to get out. But if we left her out, it was more dangerous because she would actually open the door to the apartment and leave.
Oh my gosh.
Or she would eat things and ingest things. So the crate was the way to keep her safe, but it didn't mean that she liked it. So we worked really hard on crate training. We got her on some medication and we got a lot of fosters to keep her company because that helped. So the anxiety is now under control with like the training, with the meds, and with having another dog all the time. But she does still get nervous, especially if we go to a new place or if something in her routine is out of place. So that's definitely her big thing that we're always looking to help her with, is like more natural ways to keep her calm, especially if we're traveling or like a new person is around. Lucy And Penny is like 7, so she's just about to be a senior, which is terrible. No, we had a senior girl. Anybody who knows us knows about Gert. And then Lucy is probably just about 2. She is a wild sea creature. She's very calm, but she likes to play, but she's like got a happy, calm demeanor. She loves to cuddle, loves to be touching you, on top of you. And it's so funny that you asked about being in the sun, because we always call Penny a sun pig.
Mm-hmm.
Lives for the sun, like just to lay in the sun. And Lucy will do the same, but Penny is truly a sun pig.
Huh.
Awesome.
I actually would have guessed the opposite, that Penny would look for shady spots and like to cool herself down, because it sounds like she's got quite the hot kind of intense personality. So I would have guessed the other way. So it's always nice to be able to do this assessment and find out from the owner what the animal's likes and dislikes are, because everybody knows what assuming does. So yes.
Should we dive in and go do you want to go Penny first and then Lucy, or what's the best way to go through this?
Yeah, let's do one dog at a time. So they can both be there, but if you want to kind of be with them, and I don't know if you can shift your camera a little bit to.
Let me
talk about different
30 seconds.
And while she's doing that, so I can talk about, so when we did this, I can't even remember when it was, but we did it with Bosley and Ozzy, and it was it's what changed how I feed Boz. It took because he was having the funky ears and kind of an upset stomach, and just never digestion was really not his strong suit. And then after we talked to you and did the assessment, there they are. There's one of the girls. Oh.
Sit
So
down.
that's Penny.
Hi, Penny.
There's Penny Pig.
Looking good.
Hi, kisses.
So while we have Penny here, I'll let you guys dive in.
Well, fantastic. So Penny, we're going to do we're just going to kind of look at you from the front to the back and talk and ask some questions. We did just make this super easy for people. So we have these little, I'm going to just kind of, I don't know if you're going to see.
Have that. I can post it. We have it up in your store.
Okay, great. So it's just kind of like an easy match for an owner to do. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to talk about the tongue, the eyes, the personality, the behavior, and the health. And you just kind of circle these, and then you can match up where the food goes. So it makes it really easy. So we've got a couple different ways to kind of work the assessment to make it really simple, or to make it kind of complex and to be able to get a deeper understanding if the dog has a lot of things to address. I mean, everybody, some dogs are super complicated and some aren't. But as far as Penny goes, so Penny is also, sorry, I didn't see it on the assessment when I looked at it earlier. We had discussed earlier her ears, and I just want to make sure that it's this, I'm referring to the right dog, because I didn't make notes on it, sorry.
Yes, Lucy's ears are the issue. Penny's got beautiful, lovely little
best looking ears.
Perfect little ears. Okay, perfect. So going from her nose all the way down to her toes, we're going to start off with her tongue. And lots of times I like to just kind of hold up a treat and have them sit, and they like to open their mouth and smile at you. Oh, look at that pretty tongue.
Oh, perfect.
That was actually, thank you, Penny. That was lovely. So
I'm perfect.
Totally. Well, thank you for giving us that nice shot of your tongue, and we get to see your eyes too. So, so her tongue is kind of, I would say, it's more on the light pink side of things. Certainly not pale, but not strikingly red. Oh, and look at
they are just
well too. Excellent. They're so cute. Oh my god. So, and we also got to see her eyes on that one, which her eyes look nice and clear. Look at those pretty eyes. Does she ever get red around her eyes, being that she's a little lighter? Or is she pretty clear all the time? Sorry, we're boring you.
Hers are pretty clear.
like,
Her face gets red if she's very stressed or anxious, like around her around here, like around her nose. Come here, pig. Like around her nose here, gets a little red when she's stressed or anxious, but her eyes are generally pretty clear. She has the normal eye boogers in the morning, but
right, and that's, you know, I mean, that's really neither here nor there. It's kind of healthy to release those toxins during the night and then just get rid of them during the day. It's just when they're continuing to happen or they're irritating that we worry about it. But her eyes look beautiful. Her tongue looks nice and light, going right down. Let's talk. So we kind of hit on her personality a little bit, but as far as her personality goes, so like to kind of address those items like separation anxiety and getting really red when she gets worked up are very significant. Looking for the sun and always kind of being a heat seeker is significant as well. Oh, she's jumping around.
I'm gonna get in with them.
So would you define her as calm, happy, upbeat, not anxious? Would you describe her as high-strung and fearful, timid and fearful, high-strung and aggressive, or separation anxiety? And you could pick any one of those or any multiple ones of those.
I would say she's high-strung and anxious, but she's not fearful. She's actually very confident.
Okay. Is she ever aggressive to other dogs?
She is not aggressive to dogs. She doesn't like when dogs get in her face if she doesn't know them. So she needs like slow intros to other dogs. But when she knows a dog and is friends with them, she's pretty good. She gets bossy. One of their best friends is a very submissive lab mix, and Penny does like bully her for sure. But she doesn't get aggressive. She just sort of like, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's just like she's kind of taking advantage of the situation. Like, oh, you're not eating those fries? Well done.
Yeah. Regina George for sure.
Yeah. Sweet. So she would actually kind of fit in the so she's kind of falling within these pink parameters right here a lot. Behavior. So as far as like falling asleep, does she fall asleep easily in different places, or does she kind of look for a warm place to snuggle up and hide? Does she look for a cool place? Does she tend to pant a lot? Or does she stand up, or when she, like her typical posture being strong and kind of looking towards the sun and to the sky and with confidence? How would you describe?
She loves the sun. We call her a sun pig. We think she's heat active, solar powered. Like she gets like sad seasonal affective disorder in the winter where she doesn't want to move or play or do anything if she's cold. If she's cold or it's raining or snowing, she'll sit by the door and like pretend to be dying until we let her in. But if there's like even a ray of sun, she'll run out and sit in it. She loves the sun. At night, it's interesting. She always wanted to be under the blankets with us. Mm-hmm. Like she's been sleeping on top of the blankets, but she will sort of go in and out, like mm-hmm. Her to on top to back under. So
nice. Definitely consistent. And then as far as health goes, does she have any health issues whatsoever? I mean, has she gone through anything in her life? Do you have any concerns?
So we didn't get her until she was about 3-ish. She doesn't really have health concerns. The big things have been related to the anxiety. Mm-hmm. So, she had a tail injury when we got her that she was like chewing on from the anxiety. Uh-huh. So her tail had to be amputated, but that's the only real surgery or anything she's been through. Knock on wood. Luckily, she's been pretty healthy. Otherwise, we do yearly blood work for her because of the meds that she's on. So, knock on wood, everything's been good. But like we said, she's a senior. She does need a dental cleaning. Mm-hmm. Stave off some dental disease. She has some like worn down teeth from her previous life. So
okay, but like those teeth just need to be cleaned, but they're healthy teeth. We've got a nice, pretty light pink tongue, bright, clear eyes, clean ears. As far as her body goes, So we always talk about what's called a body condition score, and it's just a number 1 through 5 that you're going to give to your dog on basically 3 being perfect, 1 being way too skinny, and 5 being just like, popping out of their skin, looking like an engorged tick. She is, oh my gosh, she's like perfect.
Yeah, she's like 3, I think.
And I would definitely, from here I call her a 3. The way I check or tell owners to check is I'd love for you to run your hand on her spine. Make sure you know that there's a spine under there, but it's not protruding at all.
Penny.
She's just like,
look at my perfect body. You don't have to check this.
Yes. What a good girl, Pen.
And then also check along the sides of her ribs. Make sure that she's just got a little layer over her ribs. That it's not, if there's a thicker layer over her ribs where you can't really feel them, she might be like a 3.5, but she's got a nice waist there, and she's got like really nice musculature all around her hips, and she likes that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how cute.
She's so cute. Yeah, I'd put her more like a 3.5 probably, because lose 8 pounds, but who couldn't? It's winter. Great. So, as far as Penny goes, really, when we look at everything, we would tend to think that she is prone to feeling a little bit on the cool side. So she's, and we could warm her up a little bit and give her a little bit more vitality, a little bit more confidence. I would actually recommend her to be on our mellow diet if she can deal well with chicken. I don't know if she's, I know that you've had some issues. So, but yeah, if she could do chicken, it's a nice cooked diet, really easy to digest, really warming to the disposition. We put chicken hearts in there. Hearts are great for Shen energy. So they give the energy of like confidence. So you're not so worried about your owner leaving. You have a little bit more confidence in the fact that you're going to be able to hang out, watch the house, keep it safe, and be cool until your parents get back. And as far as other things that we can do, using kind of proteins that calm and moisturize the body. So kind of on the opposite end of things, the rabbit medallions. Rabbits are full of moisture, and although they have a ton of energy, it's more happy energy. So it's really calming and nice for the dogs. And that would be my choice as far as treats go for her. Mm-hmm. And then I would probably think about incorporating, I don't know if you've ever used any kind of CBD on her, but it's great for the anxiety. I'm sure you've kind of tried everything. And if she's on this prescription meds, you can just use it to balance out. I've definitely seen a lot of people that say that either the anti-inflammatories they use or the anti-anxieties they use stop working a little bit after about 8 hours. And so they kind of use that CBD in the last end of it because they can only give the meds every 12 hours. So it's a great way to be able to incorporate it, use something more natural, really yummy and easy to use as a treat as well. So that's kind of where I go with Penny.
So
shall we talk about Miss Lucille now?
Can I just recap super quick?
Sure.
So for Penny, so because she's sort of on the higher strung side of things, so she should be looking at, so like rabbit you mentioned is a cooling food. Is that right?
She's high strung, but she runs cool. So she wants to be, so she's looking for warmth. So even though she's high, so even though she's not really high strung, we're going to call her worried. Because she's high strung, it would not be that kind of like kind, warming, loving personality. She would be worried about everything. She's just concerned about being left, really, more than anything, as opposed to like, it's not her whole personality. It's, the fact that she's a rescue and we don't know what she's got in her memories. And this is just one thing that gets her worked up. And so we want to just kind of balance that out with everything else that's going on. Like, she's really healthy and she's got all these other great things, but she needs everything warmed up just a little bit to give her that confidence to keep her moving.
Okay, so that's my trick.
And yes, and there's two totally different spectrums of dogs that have separation anxiety, and some of them run really hot and need to be cooled and calmed, and some of them run cool and need that like vigor and vitality and warmth and circulation to kind of get them up and going and give them that confidence.
So chicken is one of those foods that would help.
Chicken and lamb. And I always like to use hearts when we're thinking about anything that has to do with like personality or disposition, where we want to build confidence, because hearts are just that vital, blood pumping strength and love.
Mm-hmm.
So all the things that we're kind of looking for.
Yeah, amazing. Oh, so interesting. All right, should we do Lucy while she's like kissing and being perfect on cue? Oh my gosh, how cute is she? So we got I think we got to look at her tongue sort of early, right? Hi, Luce. Hi, cutie. She's a human, actually.
He's alive.
So cute.
Yeah. Oh, where's that tongue?
I feel like it looked pretty much the same as Penny's. Maybe that was just me.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to look at it. Sam, what do you think of her tongue? Because it's a little hard for us to see.
Let me try to. Lulu, can I see your tongue, please?
Hello. No,
Can I see it, Lou? She's like, what are you doing?
What is happening? Might be too dark anyway. Oh. She's so cute.
Okay.
Oh, she's like, no, I'm done. No, thank you. On to other things. Hi, Lucy.
Sometimes if I do this, she yawns.
Oh my gosh. She just looks so velvety and soft.
She is so pretty. But she is not sharing that tongue with us.
That's okay. If you had to guess, what do you think they're sort of same color?
Yeah, let me look. Yeah, hers is maybe a little bit more purple than Penny's.
Really? A little bit more purple?
Maybe I'm a bit.
Or not.
Yeah, they're the same color.
Well, she's also has that blue coloring, so she definitely
I think they're pretty.
She have a different pigmentation altogether for sure. But you think it's a little more purple?
I think they're pretty close to the same, if I had to say. Right, Lulu?
And so one thing about Lulu, so when you say a little purple, makes me think, makes me ask a couple more questions. So does she drool a lot, or does she have kind of a slimy mouth?
Yes.
Okay.
She drools.
She drools. And then let's talk about her eyes. Does she have, oh, she's so cute. Does she have kind of red around her eyes more often than Penny does?
Yes.
Okay. And then her ears. So you've told me that her ears get red gunk in them, specifically red gunk. So a couple questions regarding that. So I see your girls kiss each other a lot. Does Penny lick inside Lucy's ears?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so lots of times salivation leaves red looking staining. So if you see a dog that licks their fur and they're a white dog, you see like kind of the red staining. If you have a girl dog and they're light and they lick their vulva a lot, you'll see like it's kind of brownish red all around that area. So it's not uncommon for, if one dog licks the other dog in the ear and you see that red transfer of stuff. But I guess the important thing to know is, have you had the ears swabbed? Are they infectious? Like, do they become infectious, or are they just kind of like yeasty from all that funky mouth stuff?
I think it's a combination of the licking, but also that she just has those kind of ears. She always has. We cleaned them out. The vet, they didn't think it was an infection.
Mm-hmm.
They just, said that she's probably prone to having more yeast in her ears, and we are considering removing, like we were talking about, white potatoes from her diet completely, changing her food to get her off of that.
Totally. And we are going to talk about using anti-inflammatory foods, things that don't cause that kind of reaction for sure with her. But in addition, a really easy at-home solution that you can use in ears is apple cider vinegar. So you just take about 10% apple cider vinegar, 90% water. I know we've talked about this with Boz.
It like totally.
Yeah. Squirt it in the ears, massage around. You can let her shake her head out. And then actually to wipe it out, you can use either a little coconut oil or a little witch hazel. Both of them are super anti-inflammatory and antibacterial, and they keep the microbes down as well. So the apple cider vinegar will reset the pH in the ear, get rid of that yeast. That coconut oil will kind of calm everything down, reduce that inflammation, and get that redness away. If you want to kind of switch, when you think there's an infection going on, use the stuff from the vet. But when you think you're just cleaning in between and you don't want to use the chemical stuff, then go ahead and use apple cider vinegar and coconut oil, because it's a beautiful little combination. It works great, and you'll probably have a ton of success with it. It actually kind of promotes good growth in the ear as opposed to bad growth. So then moving down, she looked really nice and she looks a little leaner maybe than Penny. Is that okay? So probably definitely on like just at the 3, where Penny might be like a 3.5. So we'll go for that for pond condition.
Builds, yeah, for sure.
Gotcha. And does she stay a little skinnier even depending on what she eats? Okay. Yeah. And how about, so as far as, because she has the yeast in her ears and she had, and kind of the slimy mouth. Let's talk about poop. Does she end up getting loose really much more easily than Penny does as far as her stools go, and have lighter or darker stools?
Hers tend to be voluminous.
I love talking about poop.
Penny likes to go more often and smaller and like usually nicer and firmer. Lucy tends to like bottle it all up and then let it all go. So they come out a little looser, bigger, I think also lighter in color, and she's more likely to have like those green slimy poops than Penny is. It's not all the time, but like if something stressful happens or like they got a lot of extra veggies that one day, she has a more sensitive stomach than Penny does.
And no, she's not like a licker. She doesn't lick her butt a lot or anything like that, or scoot, does she?
She doesn't scoot. Penny has never had like an anal gland issue. We're talking about anal glands.
Let's do it. Let's cover it all.
She's had to have hers like disimpacted at the vet. They weren't like super infected, but expressed. Expressed is the word I'm looking for. Yes, she's had to have them expressed. Yeah, you're embarrassed now.
Oh my gosh.
So she does have more issues with that than Penny does. She also has a recessed vulva, so she's always licking at that. And I got her some veterinary what is the word I'm looking for? UTI prevention.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like the UTI. Yeah.
Does she pull urine just in that little spot where her vulva is recessed and she gets UTIs often?
Drop.
Okay. And have you ever tried putting a little apple cider vinegar in her food to kind of keep that pH a little bit more?
We did doing it for a little while. I think we just forgot.
You've got a lot of dogs. You've got a lot of stuff. Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah. I get it. You can't get everything done, but well, I'm glad that she doesn't have kind of recurring UTIs or leaking, because that definitely can happen with that. So what happens? I guess we should explain. So a recessed vulva, because dogs' anatomy is sideways, if if the vulva is recessed, it kind of is back to the body, and then there's like a little dip underneath of it, so urine kind of catches in that spot, and then it doesn't all come out. So there's like kind of peak right there, and it kind of dribbles a little bit. So the dogs go and lick it a lot, and just it's probably annoying. I mean, is kind of how I would associate that, like that idea of what that feeling would be. Mm-hmm. So yes, I can imagine why it would. You kind of want to drag it, kind of want to itch it, kind of want to scratch it, and kind of want to fix it. There's not much you could do to the anatomy without potentially making your dog incontinent. So it's great to just kind of fight it off, especially with food. So as far as she goes, I definitely have to say I think that she probably has a fairly acidic, or I'm sorry, a fairly basic pH, and so she could be acidified a little bit in her body, especially when she's licking a lot, she makes all this goobery stuff. She's got like this really wet mouth. Let's kind of enhance how she uses her moisture. I think that this is a great dog with the to use for the example of when dogs take in their food and get it out within 24 hours, which is kind of the way kibble works. It takes a little longer and assimilates a little bit more like this. And when you have a food, when you're on a whole food diet, it takes about 12 hours to go in and out. And so a little bit faster and kind of creates a more kind of neutral pH so that you're not kind of going up and down with stuff. I think with Lucy, we could definitely do a belly balance and kind of reset her GI tract and have a little bit more success with she wouldn't be salivating so much. We'd get better pH all over, so you wouldn't see the goobers happening as much. We would have, we'd have just a more consistent GI tract without getting goopy. Also, you're good with whole foods. You're going to love it because the pets get smaller and less odoriferous, which is a treat, especially when you've got a kind of a gooey girl that's voluminous, it's gross. So just kind of resetting that GI tract, getting everything in order there. And then as far as feeding her, I mean, what are you feeding her right now? What's she eating?
So right now they're eating a Canidae kibble that is, are they in the fish now, Eric? They're on a fish-based kibble.
Okay.
And then they're also getting Stella and Chewy's freeze-dried lamb patties.
Okay.
In addition to that, and then like supplements and stuff.
Great. So as far as things for her, so lamb is awesome for Penny. I'm wondering, I would like to get a better idea of that tongue. I'd love for you to just send me a picture of that tongue if you can get one, just so I can get a better idea. Because
nope, she's leaving.
Nope.
Penny's having a major tantrum.
But yeah, I mean, as far as Lucy goes, I think that just kind of shifting everything to go a little faster for her, so she wouldn't even and because of her body type and how she is, you did a little belly balance and really did like 25% of maybe like if you actually pulled that lamb from her because she doesn't need the warming food, and we did like we actually, if you did it cooler, maybe did like the harvest, the rabbit and pork, really moisturized and actually sent that moisture through rather than it kind of letting it kind of bubble around her head area. And really, if you only did like a quarter of her meal in whole foods, you would see a huge change. And we talked about this last night a little bit of, you have these big dogs and you take in fosters all the time. And this is super expensive to do 100% of the time. I mean, really, if we were going to feed both your dogs, you'd be probably going through 8 patties a day, 7 or 8 patties a day. It's almost a whole bag. It's like, yeah, I mean, it would probably, you'd be going through like $30 a day in dog food, which would be amazing, but but nobody should have to do that. Plus you're taking all these fosters and we want to be able to give everyone something. Mm-hmm. So really just this idea of doing a whole food challenge where it's a really kind of fun way to just pull out 25% of that kibble, put it back into the bag, and instead of that kibble, either use a freeze-dried patty or something that's conducive from your plates to go onto your dog's plate. So if you're having salmon that night. Don't sauce it. Save the skin. Throw that in as the quarter meal for your dog. If you're having steamed broccoli or a kale and spinach salad, or like sweet potatoes. I mean, there's so many different options. So we have a little site we just opened up. It's called The Whole Food Truth. And you can just go to thewholefoodtruth.com, and it gives you all sorts of different ideas that you can incorporate from foods from your refrigerator. There's like the 8 top foods from your refrigerator that you can pull out. You can replace those with your 25%. It gives you kind of ideas on how to do it. You can do it from our foods over here. But really, I mean, the whole premise of this is just to really start making our dogs healthier with real food and making people understand and see how they can easily use whole foods in a not scary, not too expensive way and really help their dogs.
Awesome.
That sounds great. We can definitely do 25%. I would love to do that. It's interesting to know that the lamb would probably work for Penny and not for Lucy. So
yeah, I would. I'd like this. Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Lucy, and I know it sounds a little funny to see her. I want to see her like have more moisturizing foods because she's got so much kind of trapped. I want it to move better. I want it to circulate better. And I kind of want it to be a little cooler because she definitely has some heat going on in her ears. She definitely has some heat going on in her vulva. Yeah. And so we need to just move that through and get it out.
Really interesting.
Amazing. Yeah. And I've been taking notes, and I think it's so, and they sort of seem like opposites.
They are. They totally are. They feel alike, but they're also so different.
Yeah. Because like Penny should be having the warmer food, so like a chicken, those types of food. And Lucy sounds like she should be having more like pork and rabbit and like the cooler type of foods, which is so interesting.
And I gotta say, when I first looked at your dogs yesterday and just saw them, I would have completely put them in opposite categories to what they actually are. So it's always nice to find out, and it's always nice to kind of dig a little deeper and understand the dogs a little more rather than blindly guessing.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I always say like their personalities match their colors. Like Penny is this like red, brown, like fire sign. I always Lucy is totally like a blue water, calm male. But so it's interesting that Lucy needs to be cooled and Penny needs to be warmed up.
Right. And I think that right now they're just maybe a little out of balance, and we're going to find that as soon as we switch it around and everything, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, and now I kind of need, like, now all of that makes sense, and now we need to switch it in summer to the complete opposite because everything's working in the right time and they're digesting everything well, and then we can kind of put them back to the middle ground.
That makes sense.
Awesome. Well, I learned so much. I could talk about this kind of stuff all night. I love this so much. Thank you Sam, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you for sharing all of this, knowledge about how we can, learn about our dogs and learn what's best for them. I think it's so helpful. And thank you to the girls, most importantly.
Yes. Sorry, we talked about your butt.
Oh my gosh. They're just so
talk
cute.
about your butt.
Yeah, sorry. She's like,
so beautiful.
Amazing.
Model any day.
Thank you, guys. We're going to be sending around a recap of all this good stuff. So lots more to come, but I really appreciate you guys taking the time. Have a great night. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Talk to you guys soon. Bye, Penny. Bye, guys. Bye, Lucy. Thanks.